praying for a I just keep plugging Deplorable Choir.
Yeah,
Like I don't like.
There we go. We're on. You're giving them a platform.
I keep giving them. I keep like singing their songs.
Yeah, you know, every stream they play, they get money.
They're catchy though.
Guarantee you ad
Catchy though.
supported.
It's objectively like the worst music.
It's,
But it's funny though, cause like, you know, conservatives always try to like cut funding for the arts, and like they always talk about how like artists should just shut up and not talk about politics and just stick to whatever they do and blah blah blah. And it's like, yeah, when you have one side that just constantly defunds the arts and discredits the arts and doesn't give a shit about the arts, like that's the kind of art they make.
They only care about the arts when the uniform of the soldier they molded was gray. Civil War. That's my heritage.
Anyway,
there was a video online the other day of a couple people. They were protesting a monument down south somewhere. And of course, somebody had to walk up and speak their mind. It was kind of funny too, because in typical fashion, after the guy stormed off, upset, clear that the other people weren't moving, they threw out the ultimate burn in Jesus Loves You. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Millennials, man.
Rough.
Millennials are destroying the racist statue industry.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
I got nothing for that. I was trying to think of something funny, and I just couldn't do it.
Let's get into the nitty gritty here. But there's a lot of things in the news, a lot of tragedy going on right now. But we're gonna take the time to talk about something kind of near and dear to our hearts, which is that Naruto fucking sucks.
Naruto's great.
Naruto's not great, and we'll dive in deeper.
700 chapters. It's great.
Length doesn't equal quality. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Like the Justice League movie is like 3 hours long. It's still a fucking slog. Like, no. Yeah, I guess because Saturdays are typically going to be like our game streaming days, but our fourth person that was supposed to play with us couldn't make it. So rather than talk about politics on this stream, we're going to kind of go for some lighter fare.
Absolutely.
And this shouldn't be a controversial topic, but I feel like with the way that we land on the spectrum, it will be a controversial topic because
be aware, it's possible to make any subject controversial.
Yeah, because Naruto's so fucking bad, dude.
You're killing me.
All right, so thank you.
We're joined today with our comptroller who will be watching the chat and whatnot for us.
So let's get into a couple things from the get-go that I like about Naruto. Okay, I thought the world building was really cool.
Okay,
the concept is cool, like a ninja academy, them doing the jutsus, everyone kind of having their own like special powers. All of it's really cool. The world's cool. The animation's cool. The fight scenes are cool. And a lot of the secondary characters I like, Shikamaru a lot, Kakashi, Jiraiya, they're all pretty cool. Oh no, Boruto. Okay, we're not even gonna get in. We're not even gonna get into Boruto yet, because I think I don't know your opinion on Boruto, but I think that we might be in agreement on that Boruto is trash.
Boruto might be it might give Dragon Ball GT a run for its money and terrible.
Yeah, okay. But let's get back to Naruto. Naruto, however, is fucking garbage, and Kishimoto is a hack writer. And I'll explain why.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So what is Naruto billed as? Originally, when you start watching the series, is billed as sort of an underdog story. Like Naruto is this kind of subpar ninja who dreams of becoming the best ninja, becoming the Hokage.
He wants to be the Hokage.
And you're expecting the series to sort of follow his struggle, watch his growth, and have him go from being kind of a nobody to being the best ninja ever. and then it completely shits on its own theme. Like Naruto is not like a nobody. Turns out Naruto is the son of the last Hokage. Turns out that it like the first power leap is when they introduce that he has a Jinchuriki inside of him. So his chakra reserves are already higher than everybody else's. Then it's revealed that his dad was the last Hokage. Then it's revealed that his mom comes from a long line of really powerful ninja too. And then he gets tutored by Kakashi, who's probably of the Jonin teachers, the best one. Then he gets special tutoring from one of the 3 legendary Sannin. And then by the end of the show, it's revealed that he is the reincarnation of a fucking ninja god. Like, this is not an underdog story at all. This is this is a story of like, you're not good unless you're born special. Like, the show should be about Rock Lee. It should be called Rock Lee because he's the one who actually embodies the fucking show. Like, he is a guy who started off with absolutely no talent and through hard work. And that's another thing too, is that Naruto doesn't work hard. Like, they do flashbacks. He's like sleeping in class and he's goofing off. He is great because of his blood. And that's not a good story. That's not a good story that he was born and he was given a small loan of 1 million chakra from his fucking dad. Like,
Dodge the chakra tax.
He's a chakra tax evader.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand, because a theme is set up and then just completely disregarded. It's a thematically inconsistent story. And then, it turns out that Sasuke is also a reincarnation of another ninja. Like, it's nonsense, dude. Like, how can you defend it from a writing perspective that this is somehow a good story?
So I think Sasuke is going to take up an entirely different section of this episode today. But so let's start that. So you got the theme, right? The underdog always working up. I will give you that it does take second fiddle. Like, once they start introducing other things, like, that kind of becomes like it's only really ever mentioned on the back end because it spends so much time with Naruto and his team and how he makes friends with typical shonen trope. The main character makes friends with everybody, including his former enemies and whatnot. So that does take second fiddle because they never really go back into it, because it does take all the way up until the end of the Pain arc for them to come back to that, where then they show all these random passerby, in their scenes who are like, oh, I never thought he was going to ever be good. I mean, minus all the exploits he's had up to that point that nobody seems to care about.
Sure.
So I'll give you that. What was your second point there?
Probably that Rock Lee
is
just a much more compelling character.
This is one of the criticisms I have about many animes, and Naruto does fall into this one for me, in that the side characters are way better than most of the main characters, Rock Lee included.
Yeah.
The Hinata Neji side arc.
Yeah.
Way better.
Well, and that too, like, because the show was at its best during the Chunin exams. That was the best. That was the only point of the show that I can say this is legitimately good television. Like, I'm enjoying this. And then it has that thing about like it doesn't none of it makes any sense. The Hyuga bloodline thing, like, Neji and Hinata's dads are twins, correct?
Right.
So then he's like talking about how he comes from an inferior bloodline, and that he's gonna show that it's like it doesn't matter, like, the bloodline and stuff like. But it's like, dude, your dad is genetically identical to her dad. Like, you have the same bloodline. How does that rule of succession even work in the Hyuga bloodline? Like, he's supposed to be some sort of off branch, but he's split off from the main branch. He is the main branch.
Well, that's where the problem and the struggle comes from, because he's on the secondary family and he's gifted. Like, he's objectively one of the better ninja to come out. But because of the way they're all set up in Hardline, he's stuck on the side branch. And he's also mad because his dad died for that purpose. To protect
we could talk into why
the branch family.
the Leaf Village politics are retarded. like sorry to drop a hard R.
Drop the R.
Drop the hard R. But like so what happened? Somebody broke in an attempt to steal the Byakugan, which oh man, we can get into how fucking stupid the Byakugan is in comparison to the Sharingan. We can get into that a little bit later. But so a guy comes in, breaks in to try to steal the Byakugan. So they kill him, and rightfully so by every logical law in the world. When someone's coming to steal somebody's eyes, like on your like trespassing, you kill him.
Yeah.
But then in order to avoid war, what do? They kill like one of the heads of the family. Like what is that? None of that makes any sense. Oh man, it's
because they kidnapped. Like that's the ransom. They're like, we want, like we'll kill because they kidnapped Hinata, I think. No, or is Hanabi the sister?
I don't remember.
It was the successor of the family, one or the other. I don't know. But anyway, the idea was like they said like we'll return her if you give us a living Byakugan, because I don't think she had hers at the time or whatever. It doesn't matter. And that's why they sent the Branch family member, because that's his job, is to protect the Byakugan. So because when they die, that curse activates that seals it, so they couldn't get it. Like for whatever silly reason, which I'll give you that, it's a silly reason. That's what they had to do to protect it, and that's why Neji's all bitter.
Yeah, but then like
bitter.
So Neji's talking to Hinata about
So then
he's a conflicting character in and of himself, because he's talking to Hinata about how only like the best are born that way, but also I'm born inferior because I'm part of the lesser bloodline.
Yeah, but that's why he's mad though, because like I said, and then he's good, but he's effectively the head of the side family.
But then he does whoop her ass, and then like Rock Lee comes out and he's like, I really want like me or you, Naruto, to beat him, to show him that you don't have to be born special, not through hard work you can beat him. But like again, Naruto doesn't embody that at all. Rock Lee does, and then Rock Lee.
Well, I think the idea though of Naruto working hard is when he tried to learn the Shadow Clone Jutsu just to prove a point. Like
he's the only one who can do it because his chakra reserves are so fucking high because he's got the Jinchuriki in him.
Fair enough.
So like. It doesn't matter.
I mean, he had high chakra regardless. Like, I mean,
because the Uzumaki clan has historically large chakra reserves.
Yeah.
But like, if someone like Rock Lee even attempted to learn the Shadow Clones, he wouldn't have been able to because he wasn't born
ninjutsu.
Yeah, he wasn't born special, so he can't do it. And then Rock Lee fucking trains his ass off. The coolest fight in the whole series happens in the front end of it with the Chunin exams, with him fighting up against Gaara, and then. Like,
are we going in real quick? Are we going into Shippuden, or are we focusing on the first series?
We can transition into Shippuden later, but because I think Shippuden has more problems than the first series.
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, because Naruto is okay, and then Shippuden is full blown like garbage. So yeah, the best fight in the series is Gaara versus Lee.
I would actually give that Lee and Kimimaru. I think that's the best one.
Yeah, well, that's the last time you see Lee do anything. So yeah, that was cool too. But then Lee's the underdog, the hard worker, and then he gets his ass beat by another Jinchuriki whose mom has blessed the fucking sand in him, who literally stands there the whole fight and gets just bodies Lee without even breaking a sweat. And it's like, God, it's so thematically inconsistent. It's really like you're just watching the show of the rich kid winning. Like that's the whole show. Is like the poor kid. It's like the tale of two people. One is like poor and working hard and starts his own like independent business, and and then just gets shit on by a fucking guy born with a silver spoon in his mouth, who's just a trust fund baby, who just comes in and just like closes down that small business and takes over, and now he's even richer. And that's the show. That's Naruto for you.
Believe it.
Yeah, and Naruto is so goddamn annoying.
Believe it.
Naruto.
Now,
Okay, but yeah, go ahead and try to argue that that's not what the show is about.
well, that's what
it's
it started about.
nepotism. The show.
The true. I mean, he kind of gets away from that. And I think the show is really about, and this is my biggest problem with the show, in my opinion, is this whole Naruto Sasuke thing, because that's clearly like the entire. Like, yeah, there's the hard work, natural talent, but that literally goes out the window when Jiraiya teaches him how to summon, do the summoning jutsu. Basically, from then on, it's like, okay, now his power arc has begun, and so that's when the theme shifts from hard work versus natural talent into this Naruto Sasuke thing where. And this is where I start drawing problems because Sasuke is like, I work super hard because I have problems with my brother. So I work super hard. But then this like nobody who I've bullied for the 2 years that I've known him, now he's just as good as I am because, I thought I was so good. So I didn't learn anything. And that's where the theme goes. It goes into the Naruto Sasuke thing from then on, and then that's why they never come back to it.
But like from a writing perspective, what is the thematic point of the whole Naruto and Sasuke thing? That like true love conquers all, and like Naruto loves Sasuke. Like what is the point?
It's don't give up on your friends.
But they like, and I feel like they did a bad job setting up their friendship.
Well, because they don't have one because Sasuke's a dick.
Yeah. So why
this is where I think we have problems with Naruto because Sasuke is a certified D-bag, literally from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like he has no redemption arc. Like it's interesting because he has nothing till the end of the series, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, okay, I get it now. After 1,000 episodes, that's where we get to with Sasuke.
Yeah,
I think Sasuke
he's pretty trash.
Is the biggest problem with the series.
I feel like him and Naruto are both really big problems with the series.
See, I like Naruto as a character because he does put the effort in. Once he finally gets his power arc, he does start putting the effort in. He's got, special training that only he can do, blah, 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 blah.
He gets to unlock Sage Mode.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. Until, like, post-Pain is where my love of the series starts diminishing.
That's when kind of the show completely like falls apart. But there's cracks in the foundation from the get, dude. And then that was kind of another thing that got sort of introduced later is that like everyone is just a carbon copy of their dad. The show should be called Nepotism, the series. Like that's really all that it is, because you go like, oh, Shikamaru's a cool character. And then you find out, no, his dad is literally also Shikamaru. Like everybody is just their dads.
Yeah, it's a study in generational wealth.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's what it is. Nobody is a first generation badass. Because even like somebody like Kakashi, who you think might be a certified like badass, and it turns out his dad was like the fucking white wolf of the Anbu or something. And it's like nobody except for Rock Lee is a first generation badass. No, Rock Lee and Might Guy are the only like compelling characters by the end of the show. Because like, yeah,
I would disagree. I think Itachi would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going.
Okay,
there.
We're gonna open up that.
Yeah, we're gonna get there.
We're gonna open up that can of worms.
Because while the Uchiha are the prodigal sons of the Leaf Village, effectively, because they don't really ever get into like what the Senju can do and whatnot, aside from OP Hashirama, Tobirama.
Yeah, they got the hero or the healing like blood or whatever. Like they can regrow limbs and shit. That was another thing that was kind of fucked up, is that like Naruto lost his arm, right?
Yeah.
And then what's her name? Tsunade like grew his arm back, right?
Pretty much.
But then like Might Guy, while fighting Madara, like shatters his leg or whatever. Nobody ever fucking gives him a new leg. Like he's just stuck as a cripple the rest of his life. I was like, what the fuck?
That might be one of the cooler fights of the series.
That was because
Madara.
again, Might Guy is one of the characters that I don't have a problem with.
See, I think,
But he gets his leg broken. Everyone's like, "There's nothing we can do about it. You're just done. You're retired from being a ninja." Naruto loses an arm. And they literally regrow it. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
and this is why I like Itachi, right? So you're talking about people like being generational. Like his dad is relatively unspectacular. I mean, they're all Uchiha, but only Itachi and Shisui are actually like prodigies in the Uchiha clan pre-revolution or during the plot of the revolution. I think Itachi has, in my opinion, the best character arc in Naruto.
Okay.
Because he tackles a lot of different themes. Like, he is gifted. He knows it. He's good. Then he has to tackle, like, okay, what's more important? Clan, village, family, what matters most?
Dude's a Nazi, bruh. He's just following orders kind of guy. Like, that's the thing, is that Kishimoto wrote himself into a corner because he was like, he introduces a character doing an unredeemable act and then has to retroactively redeem him. And it's like his explanation was so fucking loose. Like the Uchiha clan is planning a coup. So you got to kill every one of them, including the children and the babies and the women, and everyone needs to die. Like, how is that logical?
So, like
what are you talking
there's a
about?
couple
Like, you
things
gonna
that go on.
kill babies because they're in on the coup?
So yeah, this is the duty here, right? So the problem here is that it's Obito / Madara, depending on how you know him by, is planning the attack anyways.
Doesn't actual Madara show up? Like,
No,
it's been Obito the whole
it's
time.
been Obito.
I kind of fell off towards the end of it because I thought original Madara gets like resurrected at some point. Like
he actually never died. He did not lose in the he does die, but massive spoilers if you haven't seen it all.
This whole thing has just been spoilers.
We should probably put a spoiler alert in the
Spoilers
title.
tag.
Comptroller, will you do that? Add a spoiler tag in there. So yeah, no. Obito was planning the revolution with the Uchiha. That's where the whole idea came from.
Okay.
He was implanting them in there, and with his advanced Mangekyo, it was going to happen regardless.
Okay.
Itachi, because he is so gifted, was able to resist it. So, like, this is where it all comes from. Was the Uchiha were basically going to be Obito's personal army, and because they were so much generally better than everyone else, it would have been the end of the Leaf Village as they know it. Mm-hmm. So Itachi didn't want his village to suffer, and even though the third Hokage attempted in the shadows to stop them from retaliating, he had to make a rough choice. He was like, we can either fight back and then I don't remember exactly if Itachi or Hiruzen came up with the idea, but then they came up with the pre-genocide of the Uchiha to prevent future attacks, basically. And then it didn't matter anyway, because then Obito came with the Nine Tails. But
that's like, I just feel like that's such a flimsy argument in any other aspect. Like, I don't know. Like if there was like a that's basically like the argument for drone striking, right? Like you can kill innocents because like,
oh boy. Yeah, no.
Like, but that's what it is. Like,
it's
like
called,
it couldn't have been unanimous that every single Uchiha was about it. Whoa. Like every single Uchiha was down to clown, man.
But that's it. And then they have an additional novel, though. They were like, that's the other thing too. Every adult was down for the revolution.
Like, yeah, every adult. And you know what? Like, okay, every adult, that's already a hard premise to go to sell, but fine. Let's say it's every single adult. That doesn't justify killing kids.
Well, no, it
doesn't.
But that's your ninja way. That's your ninja duty.
Like, we can compare it to the Star Wars prequels, which are not good. But Anakin killing kids is his turning point to becoming a villain. But Itachi's killing of kids is his turning point to be an anti-hero? Like, no.
So it was all to save the village.
What about my guy, Shino? Aburame. Shino is cool. Shino is
Sorry,
cool.
guys.
I'll give you that. I like Shino.
The bug,
The bug
man.
guy.
Yeah. No, Shino's badass.
Shino had never lost a fight.
No,
Nope.
he's objectively one of the best ninja there is.
Yeah.
Like, period. Like,
And in Boruto, he just becomes a teacher or whatever.
yeah, and he's a lame ass.
He's a fucking lop.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into Boruto. That's gonna be a 3-second stream. It sucks. The end. No, Shino's so cool. Like, he's one of my favorite characters that gets exactly no screen time. And I don't count the really bad 300 episode of filler before Shippuden started.
I like Shino. I like almost all of the side characters. Like, I like Kiba. I like Kiba a lot. I like Shino. Shikamaru is probably my favorite. Who else is there? Choji's cool. Rock Lee is the best. So like, yeah, all of the side characters are cool.
Oh yeah, Rock Lee's one of my favorites too.
And then
Shino's
man, can we talk about how Naruto fucking lost both his fights in the Chunin exams? Like, he had no business winning either of them.
Let's see here.
Who
all did
he fought Kiba, and then he fought Neji.
I'll give him Kiba.
No, he didn't deserve. He beat Kiba by farting. Get out of here,
Dude.
Kiba rocked him.
Dude, haven't you ever played Tekken 3? Unlocked Gone? Farting on people? It's a legitimate strategy.
It's it's not a compelling
No, it's not.
strategy
but
for
that's
your
also part of the comedic element.
for your main character.
He's supposed to be a goober.
It's because he sucks. Yeah,
He's supposed to be really bad at everything. The only thing that he has good going for him is that he has an infinite supply of chukra.
Yeah,
then fried okra.
He has infinite supply of fried okra, but then it's just like, no,
so I'll give
dude,
you that.
Kiba should have beat him, and then Neji would have beat him, dude. Like, look at the nepotism though. You rewatch that fight. Of Kiba of Neji and Naruto.
Oh yeah.
He knocks his ass out, and the judge won't call it. Neji goes up to the judge, and is like, call it. He's knocked out, and the judge is like, not gonna call it yet. And then Naruto gets up after like a minute. Knocks Neji down. Neji's down for like a second, and the judge is like, "It's over. It's done."
It's a shadow clone, though, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
When he wins the fight.
No. He does his 100 palm, and like completely knocks out Naruto, the real Naruto.
Oh yeah.
He knocks him out for a second, and then he goes up to the judge and he's like, "Call the match. I won." The judge's like, I'm not gonna call it.
That's because the judge is a sadist.
And then Naruto like does his thing where he like goes underground and like, and Neji's on the ground for like a second, and the judge is like, match is over.
How come he didn't use that move in the fight? I wish Naruto would use that more.
Oh yeah, the sexy no jutsu.
Yeah.
Best jutsu ever. It wins the series.
Yeah.
That's how he beats the. You want to talk about riding in a corner real quick? I want to get this out because I will forget. The actual Madara, that's riding yourself into a corner.
Yeah.
Like, he's even confirmed it himself, Kishimoto. Like, he came up with Kaguya because he made Madara too strong.
Yeah.
Like, there was no way they could have ended that series.
Kishimoto's a hack, bruh.
Fair enough.
But no.
So the Neji fight, you know what I think would have been better though, because I do sort of agree with you. Like, the way he won was kind of like it's because of his tenacity. Like, it would have made sense for him to, like, even if they hadn't like knocked him down, like, okay, this is the character, you got to root for him. He's down for the count. Is he going to come back? Because that's part of the shonen genre in general. But like, I think it would have been better for him to lose there, because like, then he could have been like,
yeah, that might have been a more compelling.
Because like, he could have still been like, oh, I'm down, but I'm still going to be okay. I'm still going to save your family.
And just like the way that he lost to was just, or the way that he won was just,
Neji
it was just cheap. It was just cheap. Well, no, I don't know.
Neji's got a glass jaw.
That judge was clearly picking favorites, though. Like, watch it again. Rewatch it. Compare the two. The judge calls it instant. The second Neji gets punched in the jaw, the judge is like, match is done. And then Neji gets up like a little bit later, roughly about the same time that Naruto was knocked out and got up. Nah, dude, fuck that. Fuck that show. And then can we talk about the fucking Sharingan? Sharingan was introduced as it was introduced as like an offshoot of like the Byakugan. Like, they're both like sister kind of.
They're cousins.
Yeah, cousin things. And like, when it's introduced, it seems pretty reasonable. Byakugan gives you like 360-degree fucking field of vision, makes you see farther. It just gives you a lot better eyesight. Pretty cool.
Fair enough.
And the Sharingan allows you to copy other people's jutsus. It lets you. It's like a recording device essentially. Like it lets you analyze and repeat other people's jutsus back to them.
As long as they're
And so-
basic jutsu, like
Yeah, and so it seems like pretty even.
What's funny though,
And then
I will
by
say
the
that-
end of the show, you could literally warp reality with your fucking Sharingan.
So the normal Sharingan, see, there's always power curves in these shows. So the normal Sharingan does all the first things that you said. But what's funny though is like that's
Yeah,
not like
but
a
there-
staple of the Uchiha.
But there ain't no like
They bring it up.
advanced Byakugan, is there?
I think
No,
they try to.
Byakugan just does that one
They
thing.
they do introduce one in Naruto the Last, but that's something completely different because they call it the Tesseigan. I don't even know what it does different.
Mhm. But the Sharingan can summon a giant fucking suit of armor to
Susanoo,
Susanoo?
stupidest jutsu ever. Because
Yeah,
that
but
is one thing
that comes
he-
from the Sharingan, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
from
and
the
then
Mangekyo,
and then what is it? The warp reality one is
the
the
Kamui.
Kamui. Yeah, like
Each
these are not equivalent. I would so much rather have.
Oh yeah, you can totally see it on there too.
Like
Yeah, feel free to chime in with comments too on that.
yeah, like
so
the
that we
the
are
fuck
aware of it.
the fuck was that guy breaking into the Leaf Village to steal the Byakugan, the most useless of the fucking what are the Ijutsus called?
Dojutsu.
No, there's like a name for like having your special eyes. They're called something. Whatever.
Yeah,
Why was that
yeah.
guy breaking in to
Dojutsu.
steal that? He should have been trying to steal a goddamn Sharingan.
Well, he couldn't. They were all dead already.
Fucking kidnap Sasuke's bitch ass.
The only person that got to steal him was Danzo.
Yeah, Danzo was a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danzo fucking sucked. Yeah, man, like, and the power scaling of that show.
Okay, this is where I have
fucking
this is where
gnarly.
my complaints come in. So when the series starts, Naruto won, like the first series, not like he won everything, but like the first series, anyways. They're like, okay, like let's take fire jutsu. Like that was like elemental jutsu was a unique jutsu, and you could only fire off like 3 or 4 before you'd run out of chakra.
Okay.
Because like even like in the fight with like Kakashi, like shouldn't reasonably get that much more skilled over the time break. Like
Yeah.
he's already an established Jonin.
He's an adult.
Like he can get better and he can train and whatnot. But like in the fight, the very first fight with Zabuza, like he does like maybe 4 jutsu and he's like, I'm almost out of chakra.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, I can't use my Sharingan because it drains my chakra because I'm not an Uchiha.
Yeah. Think about like how
So,
strong Zabuza was when he was introduced.
yeah.
Zabuza was a mook, bro. He could get bodied by like one of the kids after the fucking time skip.
Boruto could beat Zabuza.
Boruto. Oh god, every complaint that I had about nepotism from Naruto is fucking amplified with Boruto.
I will
Boruto
100%
fucking-
agree with you
ugh.
on that one.
Ugh.
So then, yeah, power scaling. Here we go. So then everybody gets better because they're kids. They're not tuning, blah blah blah. So they still have steps to go. That's
Yeah.
fine. I like everything literally up until the end of the pain arc. I like Sage Jutsu because it has a built-in weakness that
Mhm.
nobody can figure out. Like, I mean, Naruto has a unique way of getting around it, and I think that's cool. It's post-pain is where I have a problem because then they introduce controlling the Nine Tails and all this other stuff,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden everybody can pop off these planet-ending jutsu like seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, because even by the end, Kakashi still kind of keeps up, and it's like, why did he get so much stronger?
Who?
Kakashi.
Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, I mean he unlocks the Mangekyo, which makes him objectively stronger.
How did he get the Mangekyo? Who
So
did he?
this
Who
is
did he
actually
kill?
I actually really like. Well, I was kind of interested in the way this planned out. So that's actually Obito's eye. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
he's getting crushed and
So
have to save
what
Rin or
actually
whatever.
happened is he's actually traumatized. Like he forgot the event that happened, but it was when Rin died.
Yeah.
He got the Mangekyo because
Oh, okay.
he technically killed her.
Obito or Kakashi?
Kakashi.
Oh, okay.
He was using his Chidori, and the idea that the Water Village or whoever the fuck they kidnapped Rin because they were going to put the 3 tails in her, and then and the 3 tails can't be controlled apparently, and they were going to make her go berserk in the Leaf Village. So
How come the 3 tails can't be controlled?
I don't fucking
Because
he's a filler
because that's it.
because he's filler.
Because I fucking wrote that he can't be controlled because I'm a hack writer.
Well, it takes a certain kind of person to be made a Jinchuriki too. Like not just anybody can be one until the end when Obito and Madara become one. But yeah, whatever. So we won't talk about that. So then, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, so then in order to prevent that, because village above, village before bros or whatever, she rams herself onto Kakashi's Chidori and then dies. And that's when he gets the Mangekyo, but the strain is too much because he's not a new Uchiha. Coincidentally, this is where Obito gets his Mangekyo because he was actually there because he wanted to help, but he couldn't because he was still recovering from the injuries and the attachment of the white Zetsus and all that jazz.
God, Naruto's so bad.
Like, the best parts of Naruto are the side stories.
Best part of
Like,
Naruto is up to the Chunin exams. Well, actually, when they formed that Sasuke recovery team to like go after the sound guys that kidnapped Sasuke, that was a pretty cool one too, because you had to see like all the characters that I like.
Yeah.
Except Shino. Why wasn't Shino in that group? I'd have gladly traded Choji for Shino.
100%. I don't like that they made it a running gag too. Like,
that Shino keeps getting left out. Yeah.
Like, no, Shino is like probably the best side character.
Yeah, that was a cool arc when it was
he's good at everything.
It was their team, like the three of them.
In his fights too, like his bugs are awesome. They do everything. He's good at hand to hand. Like he's good at everything.
And he's a smart dude. Like there was that one arc when they were in the cave. It was the three of them, Kiba, Shino, and Hinata. And then like one of there was like a changeling there that could like change into other people, and Shino's the one that figured out who it was. Like Shino was the meat and potatoes of that team. Like he fucking carried that shit. I think like people label Kiba as like the leader of that squad.
I don't know why.
Like I think that's just naturally where we go because he's more outspoken, I guess. But Shino's definitely the fucking backbone of that squad.
It's just because like when he made his concept art, he drew him in the middle, and he's like, I guess this guy's the leader.
Yeah. Man, Shino's probably one of the better ones. Did Shino didn't become a Chunin after the exams though? I think Shikamaru was the only one who actually.
In the first Chunin exam, only Shikamaru gets the jacket.
Why didn't Shino?
He gets his during the time skip.
But it seemed like he did just as well. He won his match too.
Did they even?
I don't think he had. I don't think he had
the forest.
Shino?
Yeah.
Did
they get both scrolls? It's been so long.
I don't know what happened to him.
Because the whole point was you had to get both scrolls and then make your way to the tower.
I think Shino got make it out of the forest. What do you mean? Oh, before the actual tournament?
Yeah.
You couldn't compete in the tournament unless you made it out of the forest.
But you had to have the scrolls. Like your team had to turn the scrolls in order to be in the elimination.
Yeah. No, they made it. They made it to the tournament. He fought the sound guy that shoots the stuff out of his hands.
The arrows because he clogged his things.
Yeah. So they did make it. I think that he got hypnotized by the.
Why didn't he get like? Now that I'm like really like thinking about it, why like he showed smarts like. Because that was the excuse for Shikamaru why he got it, because he like showed intelligence like in battle, like he wasn't just strong. Like it's because he used his mind and like came up with the situation on the fly.
Yeah,
but like Shino did that too. Yeah. Oh, now I'm mad.
And Shikamaru fucking lost his second fight with Tamara.
No, he won.
No, he didn't. He forfeited. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he actually lost the second one, but. I think Shino got hypnotized by the.
No, he beat Tamari, but then he dropped out. He's like.
So he technically lost because he still beat her
because he knocked her out.
No, he didn't. He had her under the shadow. And he walked up to her, and then like forfeited. So she won. Right. She won.
I'm thinking of the first one that he knocked her out. He could have knocked her out.
I don't think Shino had a second fight. I think
No, that was it.
Yeah.
He had the one.
But yeah, he definitely I think fucking deserved it. Shino should have been a Chunin. Oh man, what was I gonna say? What are the three kinds of jutsu? There's taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. Yeah, I think Shino might have fallen like asleep with that genjutsu that affected everyone except for Shikamaru. Because I remember like Shikamaru and Sakura and Naruto had to go chase down Sasuke.
Yeah, when the sand people attacked.
Was it the Sand Village? I don't remember.
And sand.
Sasuke's always getting kidnapped, that guy.
Yeah. This is why he's an objective douche, because he let them.
Yeah. There was one point he was gonna kill Sakura. That happened in Shippuden though. Huh? Yeah, no.
It almost happened in Naruto too, because he like backhanded her in the back of the head.
Yeah,
He blasted her.
and
in
then
the back of the head,
and then they end
knocked
up
her.
together. It was like, what
First
the
of
fuck
all,
is this?
Here's some real talk. He basically gave her a concussion. Like, she could have been like you don't just get knocked out. Like, if you don't get up from getting hit in the head, like, that's a concussion. Like,
Yeah.
You are losing brain cells. No amount of healing is going to change that.
That explains her a lot.
Yeah. That's Sakura's character arc. She's actually just
Yeah, and so
dead.
that
She almost knocks out her daughter too. Remember where she hits her with her like foot?
yeah. We're not talking about Boruto today.
I'm talking about Boruto's trash ass. Really?
Yeah, I bet you did.
Okay. But that was the thing, man. Like, why did Sakura end up with Sasuke? That's kind of a huge weakness of the show, is that, like, I think most people don't like Naruto. I know I don't like Naruto as a character. And then a lot of people don't like Sasuke as a character, right?
I don't
Like,
like
he's a
Seems
piece
like
of shit.
you're one or the other.
And then the fan base seems to really hate Sakura, which, you know, I don't get the overwhelming hate for Sakura. She was never going to be on their level, like, from the beginning. Oh man, her fight with Ino in the shooting exams, fucking snorefest though. Yeah, she's pretty lame. She's pretty lame, but I don't get the hate for her. But there's a huge subsection of the fans like hate Sakura. A lot of people hate Sasuke, and a lot of people hate Naruto. If your three main characters are just universally despised, like, it's not a fun show to watch. Like,
No, on the Naruto one and Sasuke, I think you might be in the minority. I don't think they're universally hated. Sakura does get a lot more hate, and I think it.
but like everyone admits that Naruto's annoying, right?
When he's a kid, but all kids are fucking annoying.
When he matures, he's the hero of the Leaf Village.
God.
And then
Because he's a reincarnated ninja.
and then
fucking
he becomes,
god.
and then this is why I say, like, at post pain is where it gets really bad, because then he becomes one track Naruto. Like, he's already achieved his goal. Like, his character arc ends at after beating pain. Like, he has no more character development, and then he becomes a static character, and that's why I think the series drops off in quality dramatically after the pain arc.
It was Shadow Clone. See, someone just said it. They watched it. It was a Shadow Clone. Ha! You're wrong.
You were deceived by the Shadow Clone.
Whatever. The judge they know is a shadow clone.
He knew. You know why? Because he's a junior, or whatever they call him.
Jonin?
He would know.
Was he a Jonin? I don't think the judge. I don't think the judge was.
The
I
crescent,
think
the Crescent Moon guy. He was
the guy who was coughing
yeah,
all the time.
Yeah,
Nah, he was a Chunin.
he might have been a Chunin.
I think
He's
so.
still advanced though. He had a cool jutsu.
Hey, you know who fucking got the shaft? Anko.
Anko totally did. Oh my god.
She gave like a chunkster.
Yeah, she did. She got it hard. Oh my god. Another character too. Let me think of who it was real fast. I had it on my head when you said that. So many side characters get the shaft.
Shino got the shaft.
One big one that I've always been mad about was the third Hokage.
Oh yeah.
Being called the god of shinobi and being exceptionally skilled. There's a good YouTube video that I can't think of the title of right now that actually goes into his feats and stuff and like why he's considered that. But like the main series itself, like you have to piece it together. They never go into it.
Yeah.
But like objectively, like he should be almost better than the first and second.
Well, I think that he canonically is better than those two, but it definitely doesn't come across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he gets no screen time.
No, and then all he does is he just summons the fucking monkey staff, and that's it. And it's like, you tell me that this guy was fucking Madara levels.
Yeah.
Like,
they, yeah, it just, he gets it hard too. Like, and they really use him as the heel for all the like the political underpinnings.
well, actually, you know who else gets the shot? Yeah. Like all of the bad things were his idea. Giving up Neji's dad, that was on him.
Danzo.
Fucking Danzo, that was on him. The fucking assassination, the genocide of the Uchiha, that was on him.
I think it was a lot of Danzo though too, like his influence, because I'm pretty sure Hiruzen believed that he could solve it diplomatically.
Uh-huh.
Because
But
Danzo
who gave Danzo his position?
The third
Yeah, everything falls on his ass.
He's power from the shadows.
Now, you know who got shafted? Fucking Neji got shafted too.
Neji did. Literally.
Neji got fucking shafted for no reason.
Literally.
Like, his death was fucking lame.
By a shaft. A thorn shaft.
Neji got the fucking shaft. Awesome.
How about 10-10?
Oh, dude. 10-10. It's just because, like, man, 10-10 is like the example of when you're playing like an RPG and you make your character and then you realize that your build
you did it
your
min-max.
build fucking sucks. Like, oh, I'm gonna max out my fucking shuriken abilities, and then it turns out that shurikens are useless, and it's like, oh, dude, I've spent all my points on this.
It's also funny that like they talk about the Uchiha have the shadow clone shuriken jutsu. And, like, that's, like, one of the better jutsus to have because they can throw, like, infinite shurikens with only one.
Yeah, but then, like, dude, 10-10 didn't do nothing.
Hey.
That's okay, so let's get into the chat. Dab333, what are we talking about? We're talking about how Naruto is a fucking trash series. At least that's what I'm talking about. Robert here is on the defensive. He's trying to tell me that it's not a bad series, but it is a bad series.
I think it's a good series. I just think the problem is that a lot of the main character arcs end way too early, and then the side characters are objectively better.
Side characters are better, and that's the show is just meandering. It has no real point to it. You know, like, what is the point of the show?
I can sum it up in 2 words. Believe it.
That's the point of the show?
Yeah, believe
it. If that were the case, then fucking Rock Lee would have done more shit.
He didn't believe it hard enough.
Oh, man, dude, rewatching it, like, Rock Lee is so much more of a compelling character. The show should have been really about Rock Lee. Like, and then after he gets fucking bodied by Gaara and then has his, like, drunken master fight, and he's gone. And he's gone. He don't even marry a named character. How you do him dirty like that?
Yeah,
why'd you do my boy Rock Lee dirty like that?
What do you think that or I guess we're gonna talk about it right now, but do you think that Metal Lee was a good character?
No.
Okay, I don't either.
I don't think anybody in fucking Boruto is a good character.
Even the original good characters aren't good characters anymore.
No, that's rude.
Shino gets the shaft. Anko gets the shaft.
Ooh. The Hunter x Hunter, that is on my watch list. I haven't been able to really get into it yet.
I haven't seen it. I was in
I've heard good things.
I was in this anime store at the mall, and there's a really cool poster. So I asked the guy, I was like, hey, where's that from? He's like, Hunter x Hunter. So it looks cool.
I hear a lot of good things about it. I hear the biggest complaint that I've heard is that the creator gets sick really bad a lot, and then he comes and goes from the series. Like,
okay,
you know, like they've had several hiatuses from what I understand.
I also have to watch My Hero Academia. I hear that's a real popular one.
My Hero Academia. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I haven't seen any of that.
It's made its way into my top 10.
I haven't finished Attack on Titan yet either. I've only seen the first season. Yeah, I'm not a huge anime dude, but I watched Naruto because it was on TV when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I really thought it was cool. And then as I grew up and became more interested in writing, I realized that it's like a really fucking poorly written show.
I think a lot of mangas, however you want to pronounce it, shonen ones do that.
It's actually about the homosexual relationship between Naruto and Sasuke. Yes, actually, I did read.
I think I got into that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so I was running my complaints through to another guy who was a fan of the show, and then he said, do you think that a lot of the problems with Naruto could have been fixed by either making them gay or turning Sasuke into a woman? Like, would that have actually fixed part of the show? Because as it stands,
Sasuke as a woman could have, because then it adds a new dimension to the like trying to live up to the brother's expectations.
Yeah, and sort of like a older brother little sister dynamic is like,
I could see that.
Maybe a little bit more compelling. And then also there would have been, because Naruto and Sasuke are canonically straight, they're not in love, which makes Naruto's sort of obsession with him a little.
To be fair, we just assume with Sasuke
that Sasuke's straight. No, he marries Sakura at the end.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, do we really know?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I'm just talking
That's the
smack
thing.
on Sasuke.
But
He's
Sasuke's
the worst character
Sasuke's
ever.
not the it's not a bad thing to be gay. I think that if
No, it's not.
I think if Sasuke
He's
was
just the worst character ever.
I think if Sasuke was gay, that would have also made it a little bit better. But the problem is with Naruto, he acts as though he's in love with Sasuke.
Yeah.
So making either
It's like
making them canonically gay or making one of them into a woman would have kind of made the series make a little bit more sense.
He was supposed to be a woman.
No, he wasn't supposed to be. I'm saying
Naruto was originally supposed to be a woman.
Oh,
Is that true?
someone saying that was originally supposed to be a
Interesting.
woman. I think that would have made it a little bit better.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
That would have been good too.
especially because a lot of the women characters get the shaft. You know,
Hinata does hard.
Really good,
She
though,
does,
in the
like,
series.
She has like one small moment, but she really does. Like she had a lot of potential. Like
Yeah.
through Shippuden.
Well,
to
we
become
we were
super good.
talking.
About the hummus. Sorry.
We were talking about sort of how all the side characters being really cool, and we didn't mention like a single female side character. I think Naruto has a problem writing women characters because even Hinata's cool moments are done in service to Naruto.
Have you ever seen that subreddit like men writing women, where it shows like all the bad examples of like writing a woman?
Does Naruto come up a lot? Because yeah, even
it should.
because like yeah,
Who-
all of the women characters exist in service to the male characters.
Who's
Like
the-
Kurenai, literally exists as an incubator for Asuma's seed. Like
Yeah.
that's really her whole thing.
That's a really
Um,
good example too, because Kurenai is introduced as like the master of Genjutsu,
And then
there's
gets bodied by
yeah.
fucking and Itachi is supposed to be like the best at Genjutsu.
He kind
So
of cheated though,
so that
because
makes sense.
Tsukiyomi is like a step above Genjutsu, because like it's
Okay.
like Genjutsu made physical.
okay,
But that's eye hacks.
but yeah, so Naruto definitely has a problem writing like female characters. Like literally none of them are compelling. Anko is one that I liked for a little bit, but even like she was only good because she was so minor that he didn't get a chance to ruin her.
Karine from Shippuden is pretty compelling.
Is that the red-haired one?
Yeah, I mean minus the
well, even
okay.
then it's just her
So
being obsessed with Sasuke.
Yeah, I was about to
Isn't-
say the only pin that I want to put in that one is the obsession with Sasuke. Everything else about her is good as a character.
Okay. I kind of tuned in and out of like towards the back end of Shippuden, so I
Yeah.
missed probably a lot of that stuff. I watched a little bit of like the Akatsuki stuff,
Yeah.
but I definitely missed a whole lot of like I don't know who Jugo is very much, or like
There's not much to miss there.
Sasuke's little
Jugo,
squad.
Jugo is the progenitor of the curse mark.
Okay.
That's pretty much all
Yeah.
you need to know.
Yeah, so like I missed a lot of that stuff, but yeah, like 10-10's fucking trash. Ino is trash.
Yep.
The only woman Hokage, Tsunade.
I actually like
Who
Tsunade.
she's cool. She's fine.
But that's another that does actually go back to what you were saying earlier about nepotism. First Hokage granddaughter.
Oh yeah. That's all it is. That's all the show is. Nobody is a first generation badass except for Rock Lee, and Rock Lee isn't even a badass by the end. Rock Lee gets sidelined.
You could say Shino is a first generation badass, but he has no character.
Do they never introduce his dad or anything like that? Because everyone else is just a carbon copy of their dads.
I mean, he pretty much is, but
And then fucking Boruto is just a carbon copy of Naruto. He just except even more entitled and annoying.
see, I would still say though that Rock Lee is still like I mean, they never introduce his dad because Might Guy's not his dad, but he's basically a carbon copy of Might Guy without ninjutsu.
Who?
Rock Lee. Other than he's got the
Yeah,
extreme
but he's-
determination and hard work.
But he's not Might Guy's dad, which like
Yeah.
supersedes that trope of everyone just being
Yeah.
the carbon copies of their dad. So yeah, Rock Lee literally comes from nowhere. I don't
Mhm.
and everything he has is he's self-made, dude.
You know who another bad character is? Not bad,
Hmm.
but like I wish they'd have done more. Iruka, the original teacher.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
this guy's in charge of like effectively the future of your village because you're always at war and you got like a level
Yeah,
D level.
Aruka
tuning.
is a chunin, yeah, and he never gets any better. That's
Yeah,
a little
ever.
it's a little bit of a
during
shame.
the like I was really hoping during the pain arc, like
He would get a moment.
that's a good question.
I don't know.
I actually don't know if he was or not. That's interesting. I have to look that one up. I don't think he was, because they're a whole clan.
Yeah.
He's got a good moment in Shippuden. It's actually a filler arc, but he does have to fight his cousin, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Shino's good. Shino gets through pretty unscathed. Yeah, but again, like, I can't think of like a compelling woman character in Naruto.
Let me think here. Kagi is terrible. Tsunade is iffy. I mean, she's a good character, just not.
Tsunade.
Conan is good, but her arcs are short.
Yeah. Yeah, it also just like.
And also one of the cooler jutsu.
Oh,
in the
Tamari.
series.
Tamari's cool. I guess.
Tamari's cool. Yeah, Tamari's good. She's actually probably the best representation of strong, independent.
Yeah. Yeah, she's probably the one of the better written females. Did we come to a consensus that Naruto's bad? Have I swayed you at all?
No, I still think it's good.
No, if anything, you've actually made how much more detailed the story is and how people should watch it.
It's a glaring commentary on our modern society.
If anything, watch it with a friend.
Okay, so clearly with this conversation I care about Naruto in some facet, which like, but yeah, maybe that's just like what it is. It just was such a disappointment to me.
Well, I think a lot of it too. I know one problem that a lot of manga authors have is they start with one thing, but they never actually flesh it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one thing that Oda is good at with One Piece. Like he has everything written out. Like even if he dies,
Never watched One Piece. Well,
but what about Shino Aburame? Oh, okay.
okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I didn't watch One Piece. I feel like it's too late for me to get into One Piece.
No, it's
too
not.
many episodes. It's too intimidating.
Okay, so there's a website there or a project. It's called One Pace.
Yeah.
And it is somebody is going through and editing it all so that it's condensed.
Okay.
And you can follow it easier.
Okay, yeah, because it's right now it just looks intimidating for me to start watching. But yeah, as far as like, I'm not a huge anime buff. So there's there's a lot that I haven't seen. But Naruto is just, it's not as good as Dragon Ball Z, like at all. Goku is just a way better character. And
yeah,
it's
Dragon Ball Z is you're pandering to your audience here on that one because Dragon Ball Z is my all-time favorite.
Oh yeah,
Dragon Ball is a series.
Yeah,
it's
almost
Dragon
like
Ball's the gold standard.
Yeah, it's almost like not in the discussion. It's kind of like when someone asks you like your
it's
favorite
its own-
rapper.
It's its
like
own tier.
you can't, like, if you say your favorite rapper is like Biggie or Tupac, you're like kind of cheating.
Yeah.
So it's like you really got to start it at your second favorite because your first favorite is gonna be.
Everybody agrees.
Yeah, and the same thing with Dragon Ball Z kind of. And I think definitely for people in our generation, like grew up with like that was everyone's sort of introduction.
Yeah.
To the genre.
Yeah. Dude,
but I think Full Metal Alchemist I think is fantastic.
Rock the Dragon might be legitimately the most awesome dub theme song ever.
Yeah. Full Metal Alchemist is probably like the gold standard of like
Brotherhood.
a
Brotherhood.
I actually like the first one though.
I don't mind the first one.
It got weird, and I was into that.
Yeah, well, that was something that I think Bones, the studio that did the first one, that's something that they did with, like, they did it with Soul Eater, and they did it with a couple others that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Where they adapted them before they were finished?
Yeah, and then they come up with something else at the end.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist was cool, because it got, like, even the original, I think the original handled certain emotional scenes better, too. Like, the thing with Nina, I think, was done better in the original Full Metal Alchemist. Like, it was a lot less impactful in Brotherhood. So was Hugh's death.
I always thought it was better. Hugh's death is way better in Brotherhood.
Is way better in Brotherhood?
Yeah. Dude, it's one of the most iconic lines that comes out of Roy Mustang's
Is raining?
Terrible day for rain.
Yeah.
How dare you?
So yeah.
Did you make
as far as like
moderator?
animes go, I guess like it's hard to compare Naruto to a lot of things because it is such a long running one. Because obviously, like things like Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo are such like condensed stories.
Yeah.
Like they have a clear like beginning and end, and they're a lot shorter to follow. So you can't really compare quality to like a long
I
running.
love Samurai Champloo. It's
Yeah, Samurai
such
Champloo
a
is
good one.
fantastic. There's a third one that's come out. Space Cowboy, I think, is that it?
Space Dandy.
Space Dandy, that's it. I haven't watched it. I hear it's good though, but it's from the same dude that made Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, right?
I'm gonna have to give you a hard disagree, Hobo, on that one.
What did he say?
his
Inuyasha?
brother. No.
Inuyasha was good?
Inuyasha's brother, though.
Sesshomaru?
Yes.
What about him?
Liked him. He was super good.
I liked Koga.
So where you're
It helped that he had Piccolo's fucking voice.
so for it to put it equivalently, Inuyasha for me is Naruto for you. Right now.
I like Inuyasha.
I bet you do.
I do.
We're done here. Pack it up.
Because that was one of my first animes
Okay.
too that I'd watched
So
because it was on
okay,
Adult Swim. Yeah, so I watched a lot of Inuyasha. I liked Inuyasha for a while until it became like kind of meandering.
So
It was just-
this is my biggest complaint with Inuyasha. I love it up until the Backlash wave. Then everything became pointless beyond that point.
I maybe don't even know what you're talking about. I guess I can't give an objective ruling on Inuyasha because I didn't finish the show. I stopped watching at a certain point.
Yeah.
It was after those like
I
it was around the time when those like 7 like bandit like guys were around. You know what I'm talking about?
It's been a minute.
There was like the guy that had like a tank body, and then there was that one like trans character, and then there was
I think I know
you know
what
who
you're
I'm talking about?
Yeah, vaguely, but I do.
yeah,
I'm
I
starting to
kind of
recall it.
fell off around that point
So
because the show just seemed so circular. Like we're
well,
after
it is. That's
you
my
know.
chief complaint because like I like Inuyasha as a character, and I like.
oh yeah, I think it's really funny. I think it's got good action. It's got a cool world building. Like it's got a lot of things going
Yeah,
for
the
it, but
world
I
building's
just
good.
I think like
Also,
the story just doesn't go anywhere.
In terms of anime films, Swords of an Honorable Ruler, the third Inuyasha movie, one of my favorites. I actually really like it a lot.
Someone in the chat, Hobo Panda says, "Have you watched Zatch Bell?"
Oh yes, actually, I love Zatch Bell.
I liked Zatch Bell. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
I
it.
watched it. I've honestly like if it showed up on Toonami, like I probably watched it for a while. So like Rurouni Kenshin,
Oh, Kenshin's so good until the
Um,
last arc.
Zatch Bell, Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh yeah, that's probably up there in like some of the best animes.
Yu Yu Hakusho has aged so well. Actually, I rewatched the entire series a
Okay.
few months ago. That one thing that Yu Yu Hakusho does well, you want to talk about good writing, is every arc sets up things in the subsequent arc, like through the entirety, even all the way to the end.
Yeah, everything matters, and I think
Yeah.
that's like such a like a good writer
Yeah.
can do something like that.
Yeah, but I think that's
Where there is
pre-planning.
no wasted time, you know.
Because I think like I said, a lot of shonen mangas, especially, they have these basic ideas, and then they don't really flesh them out until later on.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of the issues come from.
Yeah, and that's
Because like I know the Itachi betrayal is like pre-planned, and that's why it's one of the more fleshed out written arcs. But like,
do you think that was pre-planned?
I
Because
think
it
so.
seemed like he just kind of made it up. Like it
I
seemed
think
like
so.
I imagine Kishimoto in a room like, shit, like how do I make a baby killer compelling? Like how do I make him into a good guy? And he just fucking racked his brain for like hours till he's like, all right, what if
I think a lot
what
of
if the babies were in on it?
See, I think it's because it's something that's tied to the original. The things that tie into the original series of the original 90 episodes or whatever, I think all that stuff is pre-planned. I think he started filling in things later on, though, for sure.
Well, no, because I did read that it was planned that Naruto would be like he was actually going to be the Nine-Tails Fox, like with a curse on him that made him into a human, and that's why the village hated him so much.
Yeah.
Like I think that was his initial plan. Like
In
the
pilot chapter.
yeah,
or
like
whatever.
the other tailed beasts weren't planned.
Yeah, I think he added them in later.
Yeah, so there's which leads me to think like a lot of it was kind of made up, and that's why a lot of it kind of falls flat.
Do you think a lot of mangas, like some like Naruto, would be better? Would be better if they took a lot of these side ones and just made completely side mangas. Like Fairy Tail did it with Fairy Tail Zero.
Like if they made like a separate like Rock Lee story.
Yeah. Like an offshoot.
Maybe that's kind of like the thing about Boruto too, is that I don't really want to follow this family anymore. It's kind of like
it's
kind of like a thing with Star Wars in that like you've built up this universe, this whole like universe, and yet we only follow the Skywalkers through all of it, and it's like, you know, there's so much other things like the Mandalorians and like
aren't they making
other planets.
Are they
like,
making a TV show about the Mandalorians, or did they cancel that project?
I don't know if I think it's still in the works. Jon Favreau is supposed to direct it, but oh man, it's because Star Wars, like especially like Knights of the Republic, is so fucking good.
KOTOR.
It's so fucking good, and it's so like well written, and like all of these other interesting facets come into play. Like Canderous Ordo is like one of my favorite fucking characters.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually played through KOTOR.
Oh man,
I need to.
You absolutely have to. It's my favorite game of all time, probably. Well, that and Dragon Age Origins, but they're both like BioWare games, so I don't like to put them both in my like favorite games of all time because it would just be populated with fucking. It would just be Jade Empire, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, and Knights of the Republic. Like all the BioWare games would just dominate my fucking top 10. Yeah. So I like to limit it to one. So Dragon Age Origins is probably my favorite game of all time, but KOTOR is like such a close second. And I think if KOTOR was made today, it would be better than Dragon Age.
You know what my favorite game of all time is? You'll never guess.
Halo.
No.
Harvest Moon.
No.
That's actually might be up there for me.
Stardew Valley, pretty fun though. Love me some Stardew.
I
Never
really
played it myself, but I like watching Molly play it. So.
Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life on the GameCube was
that is actually a good one.
Was a fantastic one. Cecilia, my love, my baby.
No, my all-time favorite game is Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Okay.
My favorite game of all time.
Okay. I played the hell out of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube.
I played them all.
Because I raised chows. Like that was my favorite part. Like I only ever played like the actual game in order to collect the little animals and little vials so that I can make my chows like so much better. And they had the Game Boy Advanced one. Where like you would get like coins to buy fruit, I think, and you would feed the fruits to your chows and make them strong. So I got to a point where I was playing the Game Boy Advanced one so much that I leveled up my chows, all of his stats to 100, and then transferred him to the game, and he just dominated all the races.
We actually have plans to play through all those old top-down games like Baldur's Gate and so forth. And Champions and Wrath is one I was looking into of getting to play on here.
Okay, yeah, I'd be up for it. I want to play a lot of like 4-player co-op games because those were some of my best memories as a kid. Was like me and my cousins and my friends just like getting together and playing through like Gauntlet till 4 a.m. or Hunt of the Reckoning until 4 a.m. So like that's everything I do is an attempt to recapture that childhood wonderment that has been lost after life just beat me down for so long.
I just want to remember the good old days.
I want to remember what it's like to have hope.
I want to live again. Was it Wonderful Life? Yeah. I want to live again, Clarence.
So I feel like we should probably cut the episode here if we want to get into like a second topic, because this whole thing has been pretty Naruto focused, and now we're kind of losing focus and going into other things right now. So maybe we could start a second stream where we kind of less singular topic.
We can keep going here. What we need to do is add it into the title so people know that what we're talking about.
Sure. Now what are we getting into now? Just games?
Yeah, we can talk games. Talk whatever. Does our chat have any questions? Anything you guys want to ask us since we're on the
Sims? You guys don't like the Sims?
Oh no, I played a lot of The Sims. So
Sims.
This is gonna get some weird pubescent like territory. No. What I did was we had one computer in the house, right? So I couldn't look at porn unless like I wanted my mom to find out, right? So I couldn't fucking look at porn. But I would play The Sims and make like 2 really hot girl characters and then just make them get married. And that was my thing for a while.
Have a good one, buddy. You have a good night, hobo.
Oh, man. I just brought back some weird fucking memories.
And with that, there goes all of our followers. No,
it was The Sims 3 and staying up till like 2 a.m. to watch the Girls Gone Wild commercials that show up on
Dude,
Comedy
every
Central.
man did that, yeah.
Remember how there'd be like
I still remember the jingle. Da bum bum bum. And
And you would watch it, and all the boobs would be censored, but you would still like.
you would flip through the channels like on your basic cable and hope you could catch some boobs through the fuzz. Like is this the trial HBO channel?
Oh man, so my grandparents actually had I think it was Cinemax, because they had, they were paying for the full like package of like satellite TV when I was a kid.
Nice.
And so I watched like a lot of like porn movies, like not where it was just like banging. Like there was one that was like Tarzan. So it was like a full movie that just happened to have like really graphic sex scenes intersplit into the middle of it. Like there was like a exploration group. It was a whole fucking like setup and plot. And then they would bang for like 10 minutes and then would go back into the story.
I used to work for a movie store back in the day, and there was a movie that came out that was actually a porno. Like it was a full-blown like high production porn, but they released an edited version as a home release for like movie stores. And there was a big backlash when it came out, and they're like, "Your guys aren't, the store's like, you're not supposed to rent out these kind of movies to people." And I was like, "Well, it's been edited."
Was it a decent movie? Like,
no, the movie's terrible.
I wonder, like, wouldn't it be
Pirates.
fucking funny if like a legitimate like Hollywood like director and screenwriters, like a Martin Scorsese or something, like made a really, really good movie and then like had like really graphic sex scenes like in the middle of it?
There was was it Shia LaBeouf came under fire for trying to get a movie, if he didn't make it or if he was in it or not, I don't remember, but like it was going to feature graphic scenes like that. He's trying to push the envelope, but he's also a legitimate crazy person, so what are you going to do?
Yeah. Oh man, he's the celebrity that I get compared to the most. Fucking Shia LaBeouf, and I don't see it.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
you're like a brown one.
brown
brown
Shia LaBeouf. I get Shia LaBeouf, and then when I had really long hair, I got Post Malone a lot. And Post Malone's not a good-looking guy, so I don't want to be.
in a sense that I keep him all day. Okay. Sorry, Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is great.
Spider-Verse is so good.
Spider-Verse was great. Speaking of like old video stores renting out, and then like also talking about anime, did you ever watch like the Tekken movie?
Dude, I had that on VHS.
Dude, my mom rented it for us because we played a lot of Tekken on the original PlayStation.
Yes, I love that movie.
And so like my mom rented it for us, and it was like, man, I don't think this is supposed to be for children.
No, that movie is, there's some good parts in that movie for sure.
Yeah.
My favorite parts were Lee. Like every time he would like fight, he'd be like, "Wah!" Like scream, Bruce Lee style.
What else I really liked? The Fatal Fury movie.
I actually never seen it.
Oh man, you get to see some boobs in it, man.
Probably.
for like a split second. Like because you know who Mai is. Like you played Fatal Fury, right?
Yeah.
Like you know who Mai is.
Oh, yeah,
like
everybody knows
she
who
got
Mai is.
them
King of
Hughes
Fighters.
Noggers and like.
I used to play the F out of King of Fighters '98.
Yeah, she's got a real like loose fitting outfit.
Yeah.
And there's a fight scene where her fucking tits pop out like a couple times, and like little like 8-year-old me was like, oh shit.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, it's crazy. I also like that. There were some cool trailers on that Tekken movie too. Like a bunch of animes I always wanted to like. If I could find the VHS, I still have it. I just got to figure out where it's at. To go back and like find all those ones so I could watch them and see like if they were good movies or not.
Yeah.
Because I did see one. I remember it was Black Lion, I think, and did not live up to my expectations. I didn't even remember what it was about.
Yeah, no, it happens a lot when you rewatch things that you liked as a kid and realize that they're really bad. One that I did not feel that way about, Ninja Scroll. You ever seen that movie?
I have.
Yeah. No, that shit.
Didn't really stick with me that much.
Oh, dude, rewatch that shit. Holds up.
There was a really cool movie though. Like talking to animes, like Ninja Scroll reminded me of this. There was an anime that was made. I think what was the name of the anime? Well, they turned it into a live action movie that was actually really cool. Shinobi Hearts Under Fire.
Not ringing a bell.
No, that one was really good too. I really enjoyed that one when that came out.
I hear that the Rurouni Kenshin like live action Japanese movie is really good.
Oh yeah, they made 3 of them.
Is it pretty good? I haven't seen it,
and I want to, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of people say that like in terms of like the live action stuff that they're really trying to get into now, Kenshin might be like the standard.
Okay. Yeah. So there's kind of a question about sort of like whitewashing like anime, as far as like making them like the Netflix kind of reboots. So Japan made a Full Metal Alchemist live action movie, right?
Yes.
But Full Metal Alchemist takes place in sort of like a fantasy Germany.
Yeah.
Would you have had issue if it was a white cast? Because I actually think that might have been better. It's sort of a thing of like,
that's a good question. I don't think I would have, because
it was stylized to be clearly, like European.
Eastern European.
Yeah. So something like that, because at the same time, it's sort of like Avatar: The Last Airbender was an American property, but they're clearly like based on like Asian mythology. So like something like that should have been cast with Asian actors. But I think something like Full Metal Alchemist could have worked as an American.
I could agree with that.
American movie, with like white actors. I think it just generally depends on like what the show or what the medium was going for.
Yeah. Why? Like, I guess there has to be a good reason why you would do it.
Yeah. Because I think I didn't watch the Full Metal Alchemist live action movie, but like I saw like stills from it, and it did seem weird having like an Asian dude with like long blonde hair.
I watched like 30 minutes of it or so, and there are just things that you can't do with CG that like you can't transfer the feeling, in my opinion, from 2D into 3D.
Yeah,
because like the alchemy stuff, it's like it's like slowed down, and it might have just been like for emphasis on what's happening, but like. In the anime, he claps his hands and then boom, there's just like the spear comes out almost immediately, 'cause that's the whole point, is he's gifted as an alchemist.
Yeah, it was kind of like in the Avatar movie where it had like 6 fucking earthbenders moving in succession to like do something cool, and literally like a rock that like I could have picked up with my hands.
we don't have
floats through the air.
We don't have to remember that movie.
Yeah, no.
Are they making a Netflix series of Avatar?
I don't know. I heard something that they were making a continuation of the original series.
On a side note, real quick, because I just remembered it, we were talking about this the other day when we was playing. They are making a Halo show.
Oh, okay.
On Showtime. Yeah, they just released the cast the other day.
Sweet. Yeah, I think some things could work as live action. I think Halo might be one of them. But that's the thing, is that certain stories, you have to honor like the spirit of the story. Certain things wouldn't look good live action. Certain things don't need to be live action. Like this idea that live action is inherently more like...
You think it's just a cash grab?
It's got more like gravitas to it. Like, well, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, no. Not as a rule. I think all these Disney remakes have been cash grabs. Especially like I just watched The Lion King, and it was just so less visually like fun as the animated movie. Like they were going for like, realism, right? But it was like at the end of the day, these are singing fucking lions. Like it doesn't need to be realistic, and then when you make it that way, a lot of like the iconic animated scenes like fall flat, like the Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Did you see it?
Like, no, yeah, I saw it.
Did the lions sing and everything? The CGI lions?
Yeah. What about it? Yeah, no,
I heard a big criticism was like the lions are like kind of lifeless because they're so realistic.
Yeah, well, they're lifeless, but also like everything gets toned down to being like boring. But it's like this is already unrealistic. Like you could still do like the cool shots of like, there's like the animal pyramid that shows up in the I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Yeah, that's not it. It's just him like jogging around singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Scar's Be Prepared song, which was like so cool in the show.
Oh yeah.
Is literally like a slam poetry session that lasts for like a minute. Like they completely cut it down, and like
complete with bongos and
yeah, like, well, Scar was always kind of edgy. Scar is a cool villain.
That's why his name is Scar.
That's why his name is Scar.
He's metal.
I think there was like a canon book that was released that revealed that like Scar's real name was Taka, which means like shit anyway. So it's like because or trash or something, because like
refuse,
because it was like everyone was like, well, you kind of named him Scar. Like,
He's
that
the-
was
he-
setting
he
him up
was-
for failure. It's like, no, we named him Trash. He became Scar later.
Yeah. Let's talk about royal succession. Like, would Simba have become king immediately? I mean,
Like as far as like
did Scar have to actually kill Simba too? Like,
Yes.
wouldn't like
no.
Yeah, because in real life, whatever male lion takes over, he kills all the other people.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess it depends if we're talking lions or like human.
because I'm envisioning like some
monarchy.
Game of Thrones Lion King scenario here, where like
Well,
the
in-
elephants are like, we claim the throne. No,
Well, in Game of Thrones, so
You just see elephants roaming.
the gazelles are like, we have been bullied by the lions for far too long. We rise up.
So the thing, like in Game of Thrones, though, that
the
question
king-
is addressed because when Robert Baratheon dies, his kids become king. Like so Joffrey becomes king. But then when it's revealed, when it's revealed that he's not a legitimate heir, it goes to Stannis. So no, Mufasa's kids would have been king before Scar. It would only happen if there are no legitimate male heirs to the current king.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
yeah, as a second born son, you are pretty much not. You're most likely not going to get to be on the throne because your brother's kids have a better claim than
It
you
just
do.
seems like, yeah. So yeah, Hobo says Scar deserved to be king.
Yes.
No, yes.
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 Mine's kind of
Like like I feel like because maybe it's just because they're anthropomorphized, they're given personalities and whatnot. Like I just don't even think he even needed to kill Simba because they'd be like, well, we're not gonna like this little 6-month-old cub isn't gonna protect our kingdom.
No, that happens in real life though.
Yeah.
There have been child kings in real life, like in the
yeah,
real
yeah,
world.
Yeah, but these are lions.
Yeah,
like,
but
like he couldn't hunt a gazelle for his.
yeah,
Of course,
but
the women.
Scar-
The lady lion.
I don't feel like.
bad about
How can you blame Scar for that though? Like that was literally a drought that happened during his reign. Like
It's because the hyenas ate all the food. Isn't that what they said?
Yeah, he kept feeding the hyenas.
no, it was a drought.
It wasn't a drought.
Well, the drought came, but like, then it's actually like the resistance because like they said the lions won't hunt and the hyenas can't hunt.
Which in real life ain't true. Hyenas have the strongest bite force of any animal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
hyenas are badasses.
They're also pretty chill though. I hear like
Yeah,
I read somewhere you can like domesticate a hyena pretty easily.
yeah, but it's
You
like
probably shouldn't.
No,
But
you
it's like-
definitely shouldn't.
Mufasa was not he's kind of a racist, man. Like he just like there was no explanation as to why the hyenas weren't included in the circle life. He just went like, fuck those guys. Like Scar started a proletariat revolution. Scar's the man.
I think with the imagery, I think it might be more fascist.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like it conflated the two because he had the goose stepping hyenas,
Yeah,
right?
he wanted
But
to,
also
he
there
wanted
was-
to return the kingdom to the glory days.
There was a point in the back where it's got like the moon is shaped like a sickle. It's
Yeah.
kind of gotten communist imagery like alongside fascist imagery. So it was
Yeah.
like it's just an example of people not knowing the
Scar's pretty
political.
nice. He let Nala live, if you think about it, because Nala was
Okay,
Mufasa's
fair enough.
daughter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was nice.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get into the fact that Nala is Simba's either brother or cousin?
Nah, it's a Disney movie.
Yeah,
It's expected.
yeah. I don't know. This is
Burn, Walt. Burn.
it's running a little long, right? We're at like
We can get set up for our follow up and get some game time in.
yeah. I think we're gonna move to some gaming, guys. I think you coming into the back end of the discussion. Whoever's still in the room. But yeah, these streams will be uploaded onto YouTube as well as on any major podcast host. So if you want to catch the beginning of it, it'll also be up on Twitch for the next 15 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're gonna call it here.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and end our general talk here. I think in our title says here, we're gonna try to get some. We're gonna revisit Time Splitters Future Perfect,
Yeah. So
which is one of my favorite games of all time. So if you guys hang around, we'll get the channel set up here, and then we'll be back shortly.
all right. See you later.
Thanks, folks.